Number 1. The continent pretending to be a country. Narrator. If you're enjoying this journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for more fascinating stories like this. Okay, close your eyes for 60 seconds. You're standing on any street corner in this country. Count what you hear. 3 drum rhythms coming from 3 different windows. 2 women laughing across a balcony, in a language that, honestly, sings when it speaks. A soccer ball hitting a wall. Ocean waves, even though they're 7 blocks away. Someone whistling a bossa nova tune written 60 years ago. Nobody told them to do this. This isn't carnival. This is just Tuesday, 2 in the afternoon. Now go ahead and open your eyes, because what you're standing on isn't a country. It's a continent pretending to be one. It's larger than the entire lower 48 states of the United States. 6 ecosystems, 4 time zones, and 1 river that carries 20% of all the fresh water on Earth. Its name is Brazil, and in the next 30 minutes you'll see why nowhere else on this planet is more alive, more contradictory, and honestly, more impossible to fully describe. Let's start with the size. Brazil covers 8.5 million square kilometers, the 5th largest country in the world, and it's actually bigger than the continental United States without Alaska. It borders every South American nation except Chile and Ecuador, stretching almost 2,700 miles from north to south. No earthquakes, no hurricanes. Brazil sits on ancient bedrock, making it one of the geologically calmest large territories on Earth. So, there are like 2 things Americans usually get wrong. First, they think Brazil is just one big Latin culture, but that's actually not true. Brazil is more like 7 parallel cultures stacked on top of each other. Indigenous, Portuguese, African, Lebanese, German, Italian, and Japanese. And second, people often assume Brazilians speak Spanish. Nope, that's not right either. Brazil is actually the largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world, with, wow, about 213 million speakers. And honestly, the language just sings when it speaks. There's this word saud, which means a kind of longing you just can't translate, and it's so important to Brazilian identity that it even has its own national day. Now before we go any further, tell me, what country are you watching from right now, and what time is it where you are? Go ahead and leave your location and local time below. And hey, if you've ever heard sambar or dreamed of walking into the Amazon one day, just drop a number 1 down in the comments so I know you're here with me. Deal? Alright, let's keep going. Number 2, 7 faces, 1 impossible woman. After the sound of Brazil, let's meet the women who carry it. The world sees Giselle on a magazine cover and imagines an entire nation of supermodels. The reality is far more complex and far more powerful. Brazil performs more plastic surgeries per person than the United States. In some cities, there are actually more aesthetic clinics than public libraries. But, this comes with quiet damage. Teenage girls carry a beauty standard so specific it becomes a burden before they even understand it. And yet there is no single Brazilian face. In Salvador, you meet women whose grandmothers spoke Yoruba. In Curitiba, women whose grandmothers spoke German. In the Amazon, women whose grandmothers spoke Tupi, all equally Brazilian. Then there is Marielle Franco, a black lesbian councilwoman from Rio's favelas, assassinated in 2018 while fighting police violence. Her killers were finally charged 6 years later. Today murals of her face outnumber those of any living politician in Brazil. But here's the deepest paradox. Brazil has one of the strongest domestic violence laws in the world, the Maria da Penha law. And yet, over 260,000 cases of violence against women are reported here every year. Both realities live inside the same country, sometimes the same house. Okay, so number 3, cities that refuse to turn off. So, São Paulo, it's home to 22 million people in the metropolitan area, which is actually more than the entire state of New York. It's considered the financial capital of the Southern Hemisphere. And here's a fact almost nobody knows. São Paulo has over 300 helipads, the most of any city in the Americas. The rich literally fly over the traffic, while everyone else, well, they spend about 3 hours a day stuck inside it. Then there's Rio de Janeiro, which is honestly the only city on Earth where you can hike a rainforest mountain in the morning, surf a beach at noon, and dance samba inside a favela at midnight. Tijuca National Park, the largest urban rainforest in the world, is right inside the city itself. And believe it or not, monkeys cross the road on power lines. The real heart of Brazilian daily life? That's the boteco, the corner bar with plastic tables, ice-cold chopped beer, and fried pastries. It's where Brazilian democracy actually happens. Everyone talks, everyone argues, and honestly, everyone stays. Nightlife starts at midnight and ends at sunrise, with dinner at 9 p.m., clubs at 1 a.m., and breakfast at 5 a.m. on the beach. The beach is like the Brazilian living room where rich and poor share the same sand. Meanwhile, up on the hillside sits Rocinha, the largest favela in South America. Over 72,000 residents live on a single mountain. It has its own barbers, banks and bakeries. A city inside a city, louder than anywhere else in Rio. Number 4, how a dance became.
So, Brazil is not standing still. If you're enjoying this journey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories from Brazil and beyond. Under President Lula, Amazon deforestation dropped sharply between 2023 and 2025. Indigenous women are running for national office. Young black entrepreneurs from FLAS are building fintech unicorns worth billions. In November 2025, Brazil hosted COP30 in Belém, inviting the world to see this forest not as a burden, but as a promise. The story isn't over. It's entering its next chapter. Number 8, the gods that hid behind saints. Behind every Catholic church in Bahia lives another religion, one 400 years older, one that was never allowed to say its own name. That religion is Candomblé. Born in the 19th century, when enslaved Yoruba people from West Africa were forbidden from worshiping their own gods. They hid them behind Catholic saints. Yemanja, goddess of the sea, was disguised as Our Lady of Navigators. Zango Shango, god of thunder, was hidden behind Saint Jerome. The masters saw crucifixes. The slaves saw orishars or ishars, the divine spirits of West Africa. Today, roughly 15 to 20 orars are still actively worshipped across Brazil. Each governs a natural force. Followers gather at Taro's houses of worship, where drumming, dance, offerings, and spirit possession still happen every single week, mostly in Bahia. Even Brazilians who go to Sunday Mass often visit an orsha. On New Year's Eve, over 2 million people wear white on Copacabana Beach and jump 7 waves for Iyanja, regardless of what religion they say they belong to. There's a Yoruba word every Brazilian knows, a means divine life force. When people say ash, they're saying, may the energy of the universe be with you. Number 9. 9 days that stop a continent. Carnival in Rio de Janeiro is, honestly, the largest festival on Earth. Over 5 million people descend on Rio for 4 nights every February. The Sambódromo, which is this 90,000-seat parade stadium designed by Oscar Niemeyer, hosts samba schools with 3,000 dancers each in costumes that, believe it or not, can cost more than a car. But, you know, the wildest carnival isn't actually in Rio, it's in Salvador. 2 million people fill the streets for a whole week, following Trios Electricos' giant soundtracks with entire stages right on top. Guinness even calls it the largest street party in the world. Then there's Festa de Yemanja. Every February 2nd, tens of thousands dressed in white gather at Rio Vermelho Beach before dawn, sending offerings, flowers, perfume, mirrors, and handwritten prayers out to sea on tiny wooden boats. It's been happening just like this since 1923. In Rio and Copacabana, 2 million people in white jump 7 waves at midnight for Yemanja. It's honestly one of the largest New Year celebrations on Earth. And in June, the countryside lights up for Festa Junina with bonfires, food, and quadrilha dancers. Plus, deep in the Amazon, the Parintins Folklore Festival brings 35,000 performers together for 3 nights to stage a dance opera between 2 rival boy oxen, the blue Caprichoso and the red Garantido. So, which festival would you fly across the world for? Comment below. Number 10, street food that costs almost nothing. The cheapest, most beloved food in Brazil is the size of a golf ball. It's called pá de pound kaizu cheese bread. Tapioca flour and Minas cheese baked into a chewy, gluten-free bite. Every bakery pulls them warm from the oven at 6 a.m., and they're about 50 cents each. Every Brazilian has an emotional relationship with them. Then there's coxinha coxa, a teardrop-shaped fried croquette filled with shredded chicken and cream cheese, shaped like a chicken thigh. about $1 to $2, the unofficial national snack. Acai Nutella. That Instagram bowl Americans call a superfood is and always has been everyday Amazon food. In an Amazon village, real acai is unsweetened mixed with dried fish. In Rio, it's a post-workout dessert with granola and banana, two versions of the same fruit, 6,000 kilometers apart. Cachaça is Brazil's sugar-cane spirit, older than rum. It's the base of the national cocktail, the caipirinha. Ice, sugar, lime, cachaça. That's it. Sunshine in a glass. Café Zingo. A small shot of strong, sweet coffee arrives before you even ask. Brazil is the largest coffee exporter on Earth, and Brigadeiro chocolate truffles rolled in sprinkles appears at every Brazilian child's birthday party, no exceptions ever. Number 11. The towns where time slowed down. Not all of Brazil is loud, some of it whispers. Ouro Preto, meaning black gold, is a UNESCO-listed Baroque town in Minas Gerais, built on the 18th century gold rush that funded much of Europe. Cobblestone streets, painted churches. Walking through it feels like walking through a candle-lit painting. Salvador, Brazil's first capital from 1549 to 1763. The Palinho neighborhood.
There is a word in Brazilian Portuguese no other language has, ginga, which means swing or sway. It's the way Brazilians walk, the way they talk, and yeah, most famously the way they play soccer. Narrator. If you're enjoying this journey into Brazil's unique culture, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more stories from around the world. Ginga comes from capoeira, a martial art disguised as a dance invented by enslaved Africans in the 16th century, so they could train to fight in plain sight of their masters. Every low kick was practice, every acrobatic spin, a rehearsal for the day of freedom. 400 years later, that same rhythm walked onto a soccer field. When Pelé dribbled, he wasn't just running, he was dancing, a movement passed down through slavery, samba, and rebellion. Brazil has won 5 FIFA World Cup titles, 1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, 2002. No other nation has won more. Roughly 16,000 Brazilian players are playing professionally around the world right now. One study even found more soccer fields in Brazil than religious temples. Here's a moment worth remembering. Back in 2015, a 9-year-old boy named Hendrik Felipe was playing barefoot in front of his grandmother's shack in a Sao Paulo favela. Fast forward to 2024, and at 17 he scored his debut goal for Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. His first interview replayed one line all over Brazil: "The ginga was there before I knew I had it." Football isn't a sport in Brazil, it's an inheritance. Number 5. The pot that holds a nation. Every country has a national dish, but, honestly, few have one that literally contains its history of pain, survival, and celebration, all in one clay pot. The name is feijoada, black beans, pork ribs, sausage, sometimes ears, sometimes feet. It's slow cooked for up to 24 hours in a heavy clay pot until the beans turn creamy, and the meat just melts into the sauce. It's served with rice, farofa, that's toasted cassava flour, sautéed collard greens and slices of orange to cut the fat. Its origin is not glamorous. In the 16th century, enslaved Africans cooked what their masters wouldn't eat, the leftover pork cuts and the cheapest beans. Over 4 centuries, that survival meal became the proud national dish of an entire country. Today, Brazilian families gather around feijoada the way American families gather around a Thanksgiving turkey. A hearty bowl in a well-known Rio restaurant costs about $19 for one person or $31 for two, and it easily becomes lunch and dinner combined. There's a saying Brazilians repeat when they talk about it: feijoada isn't food, it's a memory you can chew. But before we sit too long at the table, let's step outside, because the real cathedral of Brazil isn't in any city, it's in the trees. Number 6, where the Earth still breathes. The Amazon covers nearly 60% of Brazil, 5.5 million square kilometers. If the Amazon were its own country, it would rank 7th largest on Earth. The Amazon River holds 20% of all fresh water on the planet. At its widest, it stretches 50 kilometers across, wider than Manhattan to Newark. No bridge has ever been built across it in Brazil. Too wide, too deep. It changes course every year. The forest is home to more than 400 indigenous tribes, some still uncontacted. Yanomami territory alone is roughly the size of Portugal. Head south and you reach Iguazu Falls, 275 individual waterfalls stretching almost 2 miles side by side. The Devil's Throat drops 82 meters, taller than the Statue of Liberty, larger than Niagara and Victoria Falls combined. Head west and you enter the Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland, 3 times the size of Massachusetts, highest concentration of wild jaguars in South America. Capybaras, the largest rodents on Earth, sunbathing like retired uncles. Brazil holds the greatest animal diversity of any single country on the planet. A dawn on the Rio Negro, mist floats over black water, a pink river dolphin surfaces without a sound. A howler monkey answers from the canopy. No camera can hold this, and yet Brazilians grow up thinking it's normal. Number 7, the price of paradise. Every paradise has a shadow. Brazil's is longer than most because, well, Brazil is bigger than most. Let's talk honestly. Extreme inequality. The top 1% owns nearly half the country's wealth. More than 20% live on less than $6.85 a day. Rio has helicopters. Rio also has children without shoes on the same block. LA violence. In October 2025, a single police raid in Rio's Penhar and Alamo Fallas killed 132 people in one day. The deadliest police operation in Brazilian history. Most victims were young black men. The United Nations demanded an investigation. The Amazon is bleeding. Illegal mining, cattle ranching and logging destroy thousands of square kilometers every year. Scientists warn the rainforest is approaching a tipping point beyond which it cannot recover on its own. The Yanomami crisis. Over 20,000 illegal gold miners have invaded Yanomami land. Roughly 80% of Yanomami tested show mercury poisoning in their blood.